Howdy, folks. I'm Weird Intro Amber.
I'm regular Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Amber had a blooper reel that we'll throw at the end here, just so you can see what we're talking about. I haven't even seen it yet, so maybe I shouldn't include it.
It's a little strange.
Let's get started. All right, folks. Our first letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for not giving a new mom less, easier work because she has a newborn?" And this one's a little bit wholesome, so let's get started. I'm a male and a manager in a white-collar profession. One of my reports, Alice, gave birth to a healthy baby boy back in October and has just returned from taking a few weeks of leave. Upon her return, we had a sync about ramping up, and I told her that I will leave it to her to tell me if she wants a lighter workload. Otherwise, I'll be consistent with my expectations from earlier in the year. I've heard about women getting mommy tracked, and I wouldn't want to do that to anyone. She was satisfied with his arrangement, and her work from the last week has been good as it was before. A female from higher up in the company, one of my peers' managers, but not mine, has pulled me aside 2 times in the last week asking me why I haven't taken projects away from Alice. I explained my reasoning, but I got chewed out anyways. According to her, Alice may feel coerced into maintaining her previous workload even though she might not be able to handle it. I've spoken with Alice about it again, about the higher-ups' concerns, and she reiterated to me firmly that she wants to maintain her current workload. But now the higher-up is threatening to make an issue with HR unless I comply and change Alice's work assignment. I have been refusing for a week, and the situation continues to escalate. Am I being the jerk here? I feel like I'm really trying to do the right thing, but I'm basically being accused of the exact discriminatory behavior that I was trying to avoid. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. And the key thing here is that Alice has expressed that she wants to maintain her current workload. And that's what should be taken into consideration.
Oh, no, not at all. No. I mean, I think Alice, as a good manager, you want to work every employee into the ground.
No.
And you want to make sure that Alice is
No.
not treated any different from any of your other employees.
Now,
I'm just kidding, folks.
Now, the manager person, like, they are probably coming from a good place.
I think they're coming from a good place.
They may even have needed to use these policies themselves when they were a new mom. But they're being kind of parentalistic in their approach to Alice. They're acting like she doesn't know what's best for her, and that's kind of the issue.
Well, and Alice may even really like and enjoy and feel valuable from doing these projects. Maybe she doesn't want to be taken off of them because she actually likes them.
And, like, while these policies do come from a good place, and there should be employees should have an ability to slow down when they become new parents.
Yeah.
The problem is that it tends to end up being that, let's say person A takes some time out, they slow down on their projects, then person B doesn't. When it's time for promotion, person B just looks better on paper and person B gets that promotion.
Yeah, and I think that's really what the reality is in the workplace. And unfortunately, until we reach a better place in society, that's just the way it's going to be. So I don't think that she's wrong, and I think that OP is certainly doing what they need to look out for Alice's sake. So that's my thoughts. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And whole ad 2742 says, "Not the jerk, and document your conversation with Alice if there's an issue reported. And if this other manager is not your direct reporting, she has crossed a line into your business. This should be brought up immediately to your own manager, and they should advise you exactly on what you need to document that you have already discussed with Alice." And Alexis Grace says, "Not the jerk, I'm an HR professional, and it sounds like Alice had a normal amount of time off, and you have actually spoken to Alice directly about the possible concern. It's not unreasonable to expect her to work as normal if she said that she can. If she can't, that's okay, but that's up to her to express and ask for accommodations. It sounds like the coworker is making an assumption and hasn't talked to Alice directly about it. Alice is an adult, and it's her responsibility to advocate for herself. If you're okay with your HR department, you may want to get ahead of this and bring it up to them first, just so they're not hearing about it from the other coworkers' version of things first. But I get that some HR departments aren't that great. You may want to send a follow-up email to Alice regarding your conversation to cover your own butt. Documentation is your friend. Alright folks, our slightly less wholesome letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Asking My Wife Why I'm Not in Her Journal/Diary? First, I already understand that I can be considered the jerk for looking through her diary in the first place. I accept your "you're the jerk" judgments on that, but curiosity did get the best of me. Nearly every night, my wife concludes her day by spending some time writing in her journal. And often she writes down notes to herself on her phone and comes back home and transcribes them to her journal. Or she has epiphanies on something and squirrels away to write something down. She always forbids me from reading her diary, but I had a general idea that she writes about her reflections on life and self-therapy type of musings. Well, the other day, my wife went to the store and I checked on her journal. What I was surprised to find is that she hardly mentions me at all in her journal. There are tons of writing about her family, friends, and even acquaintance, and processing her past exes and relationships. Barely anything, very few mentions of me. I don't know if I feel hurt, but I do feel very confused by it. This woman has looked deeply into my eyes countless times and told me how much I mean to her, and I would expect that to be reflected in her journal. Long story short, she came back home, and though I tried my best to place her journal in the exact same way that I found it, she noticed that it was microscopically moved from its spot and harangued me into admitting that I read her diary. She was very bothered by it first, but then when I told her that I noticed that she doesn't really have much to say about me in it, teasingly, that's when she got angry and stormed off. I would think that my question makes sense to me to ask, am I the jerk? And edit, okay, I get it, I'm the jerk. But people seem to think that she only writes negative things in her journal, so that could be the reason why I'm not in it. But she has written many flowery, positive things about her family and friends too. Yet I'm still missing in action. Does not confuse anyone else? Alright folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, you're the jerk. You violated your wife's privacy and then had the audacity to interrogate her about it, supposedly jokingly.
Yeah, I mean, that about sums it up. People are entitled to have their own privacy in a relationship, and you should not be forcing yourself into those private places that people have crafted out. And it's good to have private places.
Mm-hmm. And now you've opened the Pandora's box and you've just made everything worse.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations, it may not even be that deep. It may just be that you and her do kind of the same things day in and day out, so there's not a lot to report on.
Yeah. And it might just be a stable, comfortable relationship, and she just may not really find there much to talk about your relationship. That doesn't mean when she looks you deep in your eyes and are like, I love you, that she doesn't really, and that she has no regard for you. And I just feel like OP, this was really a twisted thing for you to do. Mm-hmm. You violated her trust. I think that this certainly does not bode well for your future relationship, because now she's probably going to wonder what else she can't trust you with.
Right, and every time she writes in her journal, she's going to feel self-conscious. Is OP going to read this? What is he going to think?
Yeah.
It's just not a good thing. I have a journal, and it's really boring. And I would not care if Brian read it as long as he asked me. Mm-hmm. But if he were to invade my privacy and read it and then be like, why don't you mention me more in your journal?
Wait, you don't mention me that much in your journal?
Literally yesterday, I wrote more about the family history mystery I'm trying to solve than I did about you. I'm sorry.
No! My entire existence. I should be on your mind at all times.
Well, that's the thing, is it feels like OP is why is she not constantly waxing poetic about me? And it's It's not that deep, dude.
Maybe get her more flowers.
Yeah, like maybe if you showed her more grand gestures, she'd write about you more.
And Little Display 373 says, "You're the jerk. If my fiance read my journal, then I would be second guessing the whole entire relationship." And Opie replies, "That's extreme. Maybe not as extreme as you think."
No.
And Third Try is a Charm says, "You're the jerk, you're the jerk, and you're the jerk. Welcome to the realization that her internal life doesn't revolve around you. Congratulations, your partner is emotionally healthy, balanced person, apparently unlike you, since you felt the need to read her private journal." All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. I picked it out myself. And Amber's got a brand new joke book, and she's dying to show it off. That's right, folks. Another jovial Bob Stein joke book.
This one is special because it was the one I had when I was a kid, and it has my favorite joke in here. But we won't read that one today. First monster: "Why did you eat those tightrope walkers?" Second monster: "I like a well-balanced diet."
That's terrible. Jovial Bob Stein. How dare you? How dare you, jovial Bob Stein? I don't really have much to say about it other than that. Oh, and we almost forgot. In this tea time extravaganza, Amber tried a new tea today.
Yes.
And I want to play a game. I'm going to guess the name of the tea based off of the flavors that I tasted when I tested it, right? I don't know its name. It is foot fennel tea.
It's actually called lemon, ginger, and manuka honey. Third tea in a row with fennel. It's like, why did you go all in on fennel?
Yeah, I mean, really, the fennel, I like fennel a little bit here. I mean, I like licorice spice, right? And fennel has a licoricey taste to it. All I could really, like, it just tasted kind of like aftertaste of feet.
I mean, I tasted the lemon in there.
You tasted lemon?
I did a little bit, but it was not my favorite, we'll say.
I tasted distinct feet. I mean, I often drink tea with feet in it, so I mean, that's just like, big toe tea. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you're all doing great so far today. What's our moral for the stories today? And I think the moral of our stories should be, 1, work your employees until they don't want to work for you anymore.
No, that's definitely not it.
And 2, if you read somebody's journal and you aren't in it, it means that you're not important.
No.
I think those are the valuable
our moral
lessons.
for today is to not invade your partner's privacy, I think, is a good moral.
I mean, if you want to take that spin on it, sure.
And listen to your employees and treat them well. That's a good moral.
All bad takes, Amber. Bad takes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
They were great takes.
Howdy, folks. I'm Brian. Pika pika. And this demon creature is Amber. And here's some Reddit.